We got Big Ben Rothwell in the waiting room, ready to come on. Let's bring him on right now. Here he is.
Yeah.
Big Ben. What's up, man?
Roar.
There he is. Hey, you know what? Sometimes the computers are not as good as the phones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to deal with my crummy photo and video. I tried to use the computer, it just wasn't working out. Sorry.
Hey,
It's
you
all
don't
right.
look that bad, actually, and you don't sound that bad either. So, hey, it is what it is. You made it work. I'm happy that you're here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Dude, it's good to have you on. Finally, you finally got yourself a fight in the BKFC. I got to tell you, man, you are one of the biggest signings, not to your Big Ben, but you are one of the biggest names that they've ever brought in. You have one of the most impressive resumes. When they signed you, I mean, when we met you down in Hollywood, Florida, that was back in what, June? Was that June? So
Yeah, it was June 24th in Florida.
yeah, back in June, like everybody was excited about the new signing. You were walking around, taking pictures, talking to people, and man, it took a while, but October 1st, you finally got a fight, and it's against the name that everybody was talking about 3 months ago. So what took so long, dude?
You're asking the wrong person. I wanted to fight when you guys talked to me. I was ready to fight then, So back in February, March, this was all kind of like in the works, getting talked about. And I think I officially signed in April. And I was training, I was kind of in a camp anyway. I was supposed to have a fight in that May. But we came to an agreement, and I, after 13 years, walked away from the UFC. So this definitely changed things for me, but I got excited because the training's been really good. It's at my age as a heavyweight, MMA is becoming tough with the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu. Even though I have a passion and love for jiu-jitsu as my first martial art, it's boxing is become the new love. I've always loved striking. It's what I had at my gym that I own. But let's just be honest. People love a knockout.
I mean, like to be honest with you, for someone that says that your love is for jiu-jitsu, but you do like striking, you can just look at your record, man. 39-14 out of your 39 victories, you have 28 knockouts. That's like absolutely insane. It's a ton of it. You have a shit ton of your victories were by knockout. Not too many submissions on there, man. So for being a jits guy, I think this sport is kind of made for you.
Yeah, let's be honest. I love knocking people out. And earlier in my career, I was using my legs and knees more. And as I got, and moved on, it was just a lot came from my hands. As you can see, boxing is just. But prior to MMA, I was boxing, and I've had a couple of professional kickboxing matches. So it's not like I'm just I hear that dropped a lot watching the BKFC is, this, MMA guy, and how's he going to adjust? Listen, before MMA, before boxing, I was fighting. I've been fighting for my whole life. I was fighting. And guess what? They still put some wrist straps on BKFC. When I was fighting on the street, there was no ref and there was no wrist wraps of any sort. So it was just pure knuckle. And, obviously the technique and the competition might not have been as high, but it's got its own thing because you don't know what's going to happen. And, your life's at risk. And that's it. I've been fighting my whole life. I was born.
Ben, you brought up a good point there, because a lot of people do say that, when these MMA fighters come over to bare knuckle, they're going to get a rude awakening.
Yeah,
all the best BKFC fighters, all their fucking champions are former MMA fighters.
Yes, it's
Luis Palomino, Johnny Bedford. These guys are all fucking former MMA fighters that came
Lorenzo
over.
Hunt was in MMA.
Lorenzo Hunt, like Alan Belcher is fighting for a title.
Yep.
He's doing just fine. Guys, Quentin Hero Henry's about to fight Lorenzo Hunt. He's got a very nice MMA record as well. Like Mike Perry, Mike Richmond, they're all MMA guys. So that theory is stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
It kind of out the window sometimes.
Yeah, it's about time we flush that statement down the fucking toilet and just say that this is a great new sport. And a lot of people are flourishing in it, coming over from different sports, and let's just see what happens. Now, you're fighting a guy in Bobo O'Bannon who has had 7 fights for the BKFC. He is a fan favorite. He's 4-3. He's had some good wins. He's fought some tough guys and had some tough losses. Bobo, what do you know about Bobo O'Bannon? And what are you expecting when you step in there October 1st? A quick one, a long war? What are you thinking, Ben?
One, I don't want you guys to come at me like I'm correcting you. You're the masters. You're the BKFC experts. But I'm pretty sure he's 3-3 in BKFC, and he had that one win against Kyle outside in a different organization. Am I right?
Right. You're right. I meant okay. You're good. You're right. You're smarter than me. Okay, Ben. You're smarter than me. Those Kenosha guys. Those are smart boys up there.
Yeah. So I've been paying attention. You know, I watch everything. I've been trying to get more, familiar with everybody. Watching Lorenzo and watching the 185ers and the Marine. I'm liking him. He's from Minnesota, another Midwest guy, and he's solid and he's fun. And definitely got some great guys. You know what I mean? It's one thing that doesn't lose its appeal, though, is that we are using knuckles. And when you talk to people, it scares people. It scares other fighters. I know it scares boxers that are used to having their hands wrapped. Like, this is another animal. And this is the men and women that compete in this. Hey, we're bad motherfuckers, period. And I'm happy to be here for that. I know what I know what I'm about. And I know what I can do. Now it's just showing all of you that. And it has to happen on Bobo. Tough guy, and he called me out first, and I obliged, and I kept saying his name, and they made this fight. But I don't care how many fights. He could have no fights. He could have 50 fights. It doesn't matter to me, because when I'm in that cage, when I'm in the squared circle, as they like to say, it's not going to matter. None of it's going to matter. And he's going to realize real quick that he didn't realize what he got himself into.
So I have to ask you about the weight situation, right? Because I don't know if are you in the Only Hands group? Have you joined that group? It's one of the bigger bare knuckle groups.
Funny.
There's all sorts of drama going on in there, and there was a lot of talk about the weight.
It's one guy. Let's.
Yes, there is.
And he.
Do you know who he is?
So my friends were like, dude, he's pissed my friends off because they weren't really saying anything crazy, and then he starts calling me names and something. Nobody's gonna just say, "Oh, thank you, sir. Call me another," And he's calling keyboard warriors. It's like, keyboard dude, you brought mine and calling me a cheeseburger. Yeah. Who are you? You're gonna stand face to face with me. So I see coaches, Big Frank Tate and stuff like that.
Right.
He went on there, told me all about, you can read his comments on there, because obviously they pointed to me just now. I had to read this stuff before I came on.
Yeah.
So he's a coach, but it's just like, first of all, it's not. I don't even understand why this guy has a problem with me. I've never met him, never done anything, and it's not even his fight. It's not even his fighter. Like, it's nothing to do. Second, the only thing I have a big issue with is he's going off about the weight class. Listen, it says I seen the Wikipedia, but he doesn't know. Like, when I signed, this was my friends were trying to tell him, I signed under unlimited heavyweight. Like, there wasn't no weight class. And obviously with Triller just got involved, and Dave Feldman has been talking to me, like, we're going to make adjustments. They're going to create I think 275 is going to be the number next year. But for right now, it was just like they're making matches based off whatever. And honestly, I don't think there ever should have been a cap on heavyweight. Let us be what we are. We're monsters. Like, I know there's some
find a weight and fight.
Yeah, and they just in London, they had a 300-pound guy fight a 236-pound guy. Nobody cared. Nobody minded.
Right.
To that card. So get over it. We're heavyweights. I don't think there has to be anything. So I don't know if he's just worried because when I'm gonna have to fight his guys, it's gonna bother him that I'm gonna be a lot bigger and stuff. But listen, man, 275, 285, it's not gonna matter. Like,
I didn't even know this was going on until Mike told me today, and I forgot who it was, but you told me that it was Frank's coach, which is weird to me because, like you just said, Frank doesn't have anything to do with this fight. So what's the big deal?
Old post calling me names, saying all this stuff. It's like, dude, gonna run in.
It ended up being like a decent sized threat.
Talk shit or the dumbest, it's the worst shit in my library. I hate it. You're not even the one fighting. You're talking shit for the other guy. And this shit, when I grew up, I'd watch it. There's always that little fight starter, little dude talking shit. Oh, my boy's gonna beat your ass, and then he never even fighting. You know who I like? Whose ass I like to whoop? That guy. That guy when he needs his ass whooped. Run his mouth.
And now his fighter's gonna have to end up stepping in front of him. And,
Oh, dude, personal. Talk shit. Tell me I'm all these things, because now I'm gonna take it out on Bobo, and I'm gonna take it out on your guys. Like, you have no fucking clue what I'm about.
Ben Rothwell's coming in hot.
I love it. Ben's coming in fired up. He's been wanting to fight since April. God damn it, it's about time. Now you guys are co-main on the very first Monroe, Louisiana card, BKFC 30, I believe it is. Which blows my mind that they're already at number 30. This sport just keeps on pumping these events out, which is very cool. Have you become a fan of this? Were you a fan of the sport before you signed, or was this like just you were leaving the UFC and you were just looking to stay active and maybe try something new? Were you a fan of it before you signed?
Well, I'm an advocate of all combat sports. You know, boxers making money, good for them. Keep doing it. People started making money. I was happy when they, I think the Paige Van Zandt thing kind of didn't go right. She's 0-2 now. But hey, listen, she didn't come cheap, and the fact that they're able to take care of her was a big deal. And I know there's a couple other fighters that have kept some headlines. And just people have to understand, even the other MMA organizations, it's opportunities for us. There's a lot of fighters. We need other places to go. So this was, I was supporting it. Obviously, a few years ago when it first started, I wasn't paying too much attention because people were just kind of like freaked out by it more than anything. But I think the last couple of years, it's really turned a corner. This year especially, I could see the fan base growing and people getting behind it. I think from what I've seen from that bare knuckle group especially, it reminds me of back when I started in MMA. In the year 2000, 2001, 2002, people thought MMA was insane. Only freaks did it. This stuff's so crazy. And there was a group of people that loved it. They started the underground. They had forums, and they were like this collective people that loved MMA. And I see that happening with bare knuckle boxing right now. I see these group of people that are like, they're about this life. They don't care about the other sports so much. And that's the fans we need. Those are the ones that I'm fighting for. I want to win them over as fans because I'm the new guy. They don't know what I'm about. Well, I believe you probably like seeing someone get knocked the fuck out, and that's what I'm about. So let's be.
I love hearing that shit out of you. And I've been telling people, man, so like I'm 40, you're 40, Mike's 39 years old. We're all from the same era. And like we were watching UFC 1 in 1993, like stealing it off of a black box. Buddy, off the black box, dude. Back then it took a long time for MMA to get accepted by the masses in the United States. Like you said, it wasn't until like Tough One that people really started like getting behind MMA, and then it just blew the fuck up after that. After Dana and the Fertittas got their hands on it,
but it even took till 2016 for New York to step in.
Right?
Like that.
You got to admit that bare knuckle is on a faster trajectory right now, and it's because of the groundwork that MMA did for combat sports. Boxing was before, and then MMA came through, and in the last 30 years they've been setting everybody, they've been winning the world over as far as combat sports goes. Now BKFC's around. We're in the fifth year right now, and I would say like the trajectory of
two
growth
COVID years.
And 2 COVID years in there, they're probably growing at a faster rate than MMA was at the time. Would you agree?
Just from what you said, why? MMA over the last 20 years has blown up combat sports in general. Now people got a thirst for what they like to watch of MMA. They don't like watching Ben Askren land a guy for 3 rounds. And what do they like? They like seeing a Ben Askren get knocked the fuck out, and Masvidal became a huge champ. Why? Because that's what the general population understands a knockout. And this has been talked about for many years now. What is it? Why is striking pushed so much? People love knockouts. There's a group of people that do jiu-jitsu that watch intricacies of MMA and go, oh, look at this guard pass and watch this and look at that choke. And they like it and it's cool. But the fan base overall isn't nearly as big as watching someone get knocked out. Like that's basic bottom line. And what does bare knuckle promise? Someone's going to get beat up. Someone's getting knocked out. It's all on the feet. And I think that's the exciting part. Now you just add this bare knuckle aspect. It's closer to a street fight. And let's be honest, if a fight breaks out somewhere, me and the whole everybody stops whatever we're doing. Watch. It's human nature. And bare knuckle is it's tapping into that primitive cycle of what we are as human beings. And like, here, these two people, these are just going at it, blowing, and like, that's it. I think we catch on that excitement and we're riding. Dave Feldman jumped on this at the right time, catching this wave of combat sports.
He did. And you know what? A perfect example of what you just said there. Like, a lot of people are just now starting to get, catch wind of this sport. Like, when we were down in Albuquerque, we ran into this guy, Mike, who owns Sons of Liberty Gunworks, a really cool guy. Shout out to him. He's stayed in touch with us. He's very cool. But we ran into him and his wife. He's very much into UFC and combat sports, but we're talking to him and I'm like, do you know about bare knuckle? He's like, I've heard of it. I haven't really seen it too much. I'm like, why don't you come down to the event center on Saturday and check this out? He came down with his wife. Halfway through the show, me and Mike run into him at their seats, and he was like, dude, this is so far and beyond what the fuck I thought it was going to be. He's like, this is absolutely insane. I love it. I love every bit of this. He was just like blown away by the whole production.
Yeah, they loved it.
The action. It was like the first 4 fights were 4 finishes. And then at the end of the night, we're over there by the ring and we're actually talking to what's his name? Fucking Lando Vernado. We were over there chatting with him.
Yeah.
And Lando walks away and we turn and Mike and his wife are standing there and he's like, I just wanted to tell you guys one more time. Thank you for getting us down here because this just fucking blew my, like, he's like, we're fans of this now. This is absolutely
his wife like high five.
I'm like, dude, what did you this is what we told you when we told you need to get down there. This is everybody can relate to this sport. Everybody who has a sibling, everybody who's been in the street, everybody who's thrown a fucking bare fist in their life can really relate to what the hell you're watching in there. It's a little more skilled. Obviously, these guys are professionals, but you know what you're watching.
Agreed. The live events is a big deal because I watched it on TV and I'm like, this is what I'm watching fighting. And I came to that live event and you hear the way the fist, the sound, it makes a distinct sound.
Yes.
Here in MMA or boxing, it has a very distinct, that skin sound, that smack, that's just like, whoa, it gets you into it. The live events are where it's at. And then once you go to one, you're like, okay, I'll watch this whenever because you got that feeling, you kind of know what's going on. And yeah, that's it, man. That's what I'm here to do is get more people involved. And I know there's an MMA group that's following me. They're really interested in this fight. A lot of the media as well. So it's a big deal. October 1st, we're going to make some new fans.
Bullfrog official actual says wet meat. I don't know what
that's the sound that it makes.
The sound that it makes, wet meat.
Some meat, Yeah,
that's fucking funny. And to be honest with you, dude, not to sound like a salesman here, but BKFC selling their product to the masses for $4.99 a month and getting all the fucking events is like, I feel like they're robbing themselves, but I know what they're doing. They're trying to grow the fan base as much as possible and sell the sport as much as possible. And, maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, they're selling actually like, $50 pay-per-views, like whatever. But I mean, anybody that wants to see this, you guys want to see Big Ben Rothwell throw down with Bobo O'Bannon on October 1st, get the app for $4.99. It's a gallon of gas, for Christ's sakes.
Go to my Instagram and use my link.
It's right at the bottom.
Yep.
It's right at the bottom of the screen. Use his referral code right there, referral.bareknuckle.tv/Rothwell, and help the fighter out as well, man.
It's the best value.
For sure. I could not agree. I could not agree more. And you know what? For $49.99, you get the whole year, which is a no-brainer. You get 43 events for $49. It's crazy. It's like $1.15 a fucking event.
You hear that, Dave? We're going to list to everybody.
Hell yeah.
That's it, man.
I have a question for you from back when we were in Hollywood, Florida, and you jumped up into the ring and you were feeling it out, bouncing around and stuff. And then all of a sudden you look over and the heavyweight champ standing there, Arnold Adams. And you walked over and you guys talked to each other. It seemed cordial. What did you guys talk about?
I think I just asked him about his feeling in the ring. I wasn't moving around as much as I wanted because I had socks on. I should have just went barefoot, but obviously shoes is a big advantage. Not slipping. See, I had 23 years in MMA. I was always been barefoot, so shoes is a new thing. But the power you can generate from digging in. it's just made my striking, that much better. And I was just kind of asking him some questions about that. He told me he was 275. I was kind of interested in his weight, and just said, "Hey man, looking forward to doing it sometime." So we took a photo. I think we did a face off too.
Yeah.
He was just totally laid back.
You also did a face off with Greg Hardy outside the event that night. We got a video of that. That was
everybody pushes for that one. You guys,
yeah.
I think it's exciting for everybody, for me to be part of. So he got a boxing match, an actual boxing match the week after. I'm guessing he's getting a can to beat up, but whether it's him, that's fine. But I want to have a good performance and literally get to one of these top 5 guys. Belcher, I don't think many guys are looking forward to fighting him. But like I said, I mentioned Tate, even Beltran, and I don't think you're gonna let me fight the champ after one win. So I'm gonna have to beat probably one of those guys to get to him. But let me. I think any of those top 5 guys is like, hey, we can make that a main event. People are gonna be excited. And
man, I can't wait for this.
let me just. October 1st is where it's at though. It's actions speak louder than words, and I got to show what I've been holding out on. So.
I think like after this fight, say you happen to win against Bobo, that Mick Terrell would be a good fight. He's a tall guy, big guy. He just fought on the London card, heavy hands.
Him and the other there, so he was in the middle of the card.
He fought Shoemaker.
So he's probably he looks the part.
Yeah.
There's plenty of guys to fight. So
and Mick is also a former BKB heavyweight champion too. He came from the one out of England, BKB, came over to BKFC. So he is a former champion. I think he was 3-0, 4-0 before he came to BKFC. So he's a very skilled fighter. That would be a good one too. Man, dude, I cannot tell you how excited everybody is to finally see you get in there, especially after running into you down there in June. And like, we thought it was going to be sooner than now. But October 1st it is. You guys need to get on his social medias, follow him, use his referral code, buy the app, watch the fights. And Ben, we do a thing at the end of our interviews. We ask 5 questions that have nothing to do with fighting. Before we get you out of here, you want to do one?
Uh-oh.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Are you guys, I'm going to ask you guys a question first. Are you going October 1st?
I should believe. I am 97% sure that Mike and I will be there.
Yeah.
We've had some funny communications lately about that, but I think we will be.
Yeah.
For sure.
It'll be cool. Good to see you guys again.
Hell yeah, man. Oh man, I can't wait to see that one live for sure. Here we go. Speed round with Big Ben Rothwell, the king of Kenosha. Hey, wait a minute. Before we ask you this question, the Kenosha Kickers. Anybody ever bring up the Kenosha Kickers to you?
No.
What?
No.
You don't know what? Do you not know what that is?
No.
Oh my God, that is John Candy's polka band from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true trivia.
Yeah.
Polka.
Yes, exactly.
I remember.
Dude, that's the name of his band, the Kenosha Kickers. It's fucking hilarious to me. He was on his way to Wisconsin and he stopped in Chicago to drop off Kevin's mom. Little trivia for you there. Number 1 for Big Ben Rothwell. Here we go. You have to eliminate one of these actors in their entire catalog from existence. Which one are you picking? Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Keanu Reeves, or Tom Cruise? Who's going?
All right, we're gonna leave. I'll tell you who I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone because they had a huge impact on my early childhood. Why I love barbarians and cutting people up and destroying things and all the things I shouldn't. But that was me as a little kid. So I'm not messing with those two. Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise is tough. It's like easier but tough because they both had roles. And Keanu Reeves got to do The Matrix, which is probably more mind-blowing at the time. High as shit as a young high schooler. So Tom Cruise got to go. And that's a tough one.
There it is. That was a good answer. That's everybody's answer. Sorry, Tom.
Yep. 3 out of 3.
There you go. Mike.
What toppings are on your perfect pizza?
Doesn't exist. Sorry, dude.
No such thing as a perfect pizza.
It can't be. The word perfect is a big deal for me. It's just
okay.
Like God's pizza. But
what's your go-to?
A go-to pizza. I like that. I like all the peppers and onions and black olives, and it's got to have the right kind of Italian sausage and pepperoni. The cheese has to stick. If you pull it up and the cheese slides off, it's garbage.
It's got to be at least a 7.5 on the One Bite app, right? All right, number 3. When was the last time you overtrusted a fart?
I don't know. I'm just like very open. I don't like.
The funny thing is, Kyle asked this to a coworker earlier, and he goes, "Hey, when's the last time you overtrusted a fart?" And he goes, "Very recently, actually." You know, like he just said it instantly. He knew right away. He was like, "It must have just happened like this morning."
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to tell you when, but it just." No, go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I was just like, yeah, May 26th at 2:30 p.m. I should.
Oh yeah, he knew right away.
My buddy Larry at work. Shout out Larry. Says that he overtrusted fart at least 3 times a year. The guy's a fucking psychopath. I'm telling you. All right, number 4.
What is your favorite 80s movie?
Oh man, that's tough. I just what had the biggest impact on me. I'm gonna do my 2 big ones was Bloodsport and Conan the Barbarian.
Oh,
original track, Conan the Barbarian wins.
Fucking A. There you go. Good answer. I've been pushing Goonies on my kids a lot lately. So. No, you don't like the Goonies? Come on.
Compared to Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, I know, but you don't like you're not a Goonie fan? Come on. All right,
I like Conan the Destroyer.
No,
Conan the Barbarian, Mike. Get your shit together.
I like the
Destroyer turned ultra corny.
That's why I liked it, I think.
All right, last question for you, Ben. Who's the last human being you were scared of?
What? I'm gonna say my mom.
Dude, Kyle called it. Called it. He said that's who he thought you would pick. He said it, and I was like, I don't know. I said my dad. You said your mom.
Do you know why?
I'm in to put fear of God in me at a point. You know, remember, I grew up. They were old school, and they whooped our ass when we were naughty. So they were both scared of both of them for a period of time.
There it is, man. Big Ben Rothwell, you are fighting Bobo O'Bannon. October 1st, Monroe, Louisiana, finally going to make his debut. There it is. There's the graphic. Everybody get on his social media. Follow Ben. If you're not already following Ben, if you're a combat sports fan, you should already be following him. But his information is at the bottom. His referral code's at the bottom. Go ahead, get the app. Tune in on October 1st. Ben, you got any final words?
Just great to be on here. It was really fun meeting you guys in Florida, and you guys are awesome.
Thanks.
Bare Knuckle needs you guys, so thanks for doing what you do.
Hell yeah.
Hey, man, big deal. I know some fighters get whatever. I've been around too long, so I know the value and I know how important you guys are. So thank you for doing what you do.
We appreciate that big time, Ben. And it was nice to meet you in Florida. Nice to have you on the show, and we can't wait to see you on October 1st. So we'll see you then, bud.
Thank you, guys.
All right, take it easy.